100 Steps to Afizere Settlement, a place memorialized by the Afizere. The present-day National Commission for Museums and Monuments, JOS, sits on ancient Afizere settlements. As recorded by Anthony Bingel, between 1800 and 1900, there was another important settlement in the vicinity of the present site of Jos. This settlement was established by a small hill tribe section of the Afizere Jarawa at the foot of the Museum Hill overlooking the present Ahmadu Bello Way. Colonel Loss, who led the European occupation of the plateau in 1903, wrote of what he saw as follows. A small hill village called Gwash occupied the present location of Jos. Hausa traders who arrived supposedly mispronounced Gwash for Jos and the name stuck. Quotation closed. This is another important Afizere settlement, clearly described by Colonel Loss. According to Gunn, the original native village of Gwash was founded by the Afizere people of the Jarawa tribe, who are sometimes called the Afizere or Jarawan Jos. This name is still in use today to relate to the later generation of the original settlers of these Jarawa groups now living across the Delimi River on the eastern part of Jos town. Malam Fongwong and Ajiji Bok, both elders of Jarawa tribes, when interviewed in 1972, confirmed the observations of Colonel Loss. Jara people were a peaceful tribe which had connections with their neighbors the Birom, Anaguta, the Buji, and Rukuba. The villagers, according to these elders, were farmers, and most of them had their farms around their village. Each farmer had his plots surrounded by euphorbia hedges. The most important crops were acha and millet. The people were also good blacksmiths. Field evidence on the Janta Hills shows that most of the blacksmiths preferred to use special locations among the hills, especially at the banks of small rivers and in areas where ironstone was abundant. The evidence shows heaps of iron slags and ash heaps, indicating areas where the blacksmith shops were located. Also, Mr. Stobbart made the following observations as far back as 1914. The men are remarkably good iron workers and smelters and good agriculturists. Quotation closed. There was little trade between Gwash village and the surrounding region. The natives, however, had considerable trade with Naraguta, where they exchanged their iron implements with Hausa cloth and salt. The volume of this trade cannot be estimated, but it was on a very limited scale indeed, according to the Hausa traders of Naraguta. It is now established that there was a rural settlement in the area now occupied by Jos. This community was well established with a system of subsistence agriculture and iron working. Here is a team of archaeologists who have decided to take a peep into the past of this settlement. 100 Steps to Afizere Settlement.
I am by name Anna Adamu Abui, the director of the Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies, JOS. That we are here with the trainees and staff of Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies to conduct an excavation on the 100 steps in JOS Museum. We are here with the trainees at least to ascertain the early history of the settlers that were resident on this hilltop. So we are working on the Afizere compound, the 100 steps, and the trainees have sunk a pit 2 by 1 meters to ascertain the cultural variability of the area, and whatever cultural materials that is gotten from this place will be documented, and in subsequent times a larger excavation will be conducted. Thank you.
For a long time, we've been thinking of carrying out a work here, but now, thank God we have our trainees at hand. That as we're carrying out the work, we are teaching them as well. It has not been an easy task. This has been going on for like 2-3 days now. The materials we're going to get, just like our director have earlier said, we're going to use it for analysis. I hope at the end of the day, we should be able to use this, to give a good account of what really happened here in the past. As archaeologists, I believe we should be able to do that with this excavation we are carrying out.
So, good morning. Once more, I'm Gerard Udechku. As you rightly heard, a lecturer at the Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies, JOS, Department of Archaeology. We're here with our trainees, archaeologists for that matter. So, as you can see, what we are doing here first is a requirement for the award of the certificate of diploma in field archaeology. So when students come like this, towards the end of their academic work, we select a site to do a demo, to teach them. Most times when they are in universities as undergraduates, they don't normally have the luxury of time to actually participate in a comprehensive excavation. So what we're teaching them here is the rudiments of excavation, and of course some of the improvements and the updates on archaeological excavation. So there are about 6 of them, and as you can see, we've opened up a pit here 2 by 1, so that we can teach them, best of all, teach them on archaeological excavation. But more importantly, we have this site, like all the other speakers have said. This is an Afizere settlement, popularly known as the 100 Steps. It's an abandoned settlement for the Afizere people. So we're trying to see what cultural materials we can get here to see how we can establish a cultural context for this site. And of course it will aid us in understanding more about the people who have occupied this place in the past. So luckily for us, we have been able to, the site is yielding cultural materials like potsherds, charcoal, pieces of metal here and there. So at the end of the day, we intend to analyze these things and see how we can build up a cultural context with them, so that we can be able to actually understand what really happened at this site. And just like the director have said, and the moderator too, this one of almost like the first of its kind, an excavation on the Jos metropolis itself. Excavations have been done around, but I think this is the first excavation that is being done on the Jos city itself, Jos North itself. For from all indications, we will not come across in a written document or oral information where people have given a hint of any excavation on the Jos city. So this is the first of its kind, even though it's experimentary, but we can still we intend to build up a cultural context here, especially as it relates to Afizere people and early settlement.
It's nice being here. Just to talk about the project for our trainees for 2025. Yeah, we tagged the project PGDFA 25. That was talking about postgraduate diploma in field archaeology for the year 2025. Yes, the exciting part about the project is that the trainees here are colleagues, so you get the opportunity to work and learn with colleagues, you know. Yeah, so again, another exciting part about the project is the fact that we're executing the first urban archaeology of Jos, of the city of Jos. Yes, so within the 100 steps, in the premises of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments here in Jos. Yes, so we opened the test pits 2 by 1 to recover cultural materials, to help us corroborate oral information we've previously had about the 100 steps and the Afizere people. Yes, yes. The future of the project would be that in future we are going to do more with trainees that will come to the institute in the future. We're going to open more units to probe and yes, try to recover cultural materials to further give us insights about the history and culture of the Afizere people. Yes, so that's basically what we're doing. And for this project, we adopt different methodologies like excavation, and for our record keeping, we sampled the MOA formats. You know, we do the forms. We try as much as possible to get details of our excavation from we use the forms, the various forms, the context sheets, survey register, and photo register, you know, feature register. We have different registers for different forms of documentation. This is to enable us record as much information as possible instead of the conventional note-taking method. The form format tries to kind of make you more detailed in your data collation process. Yes, so that's what we're doing here. And yes, because it's the first time we're doing this here, so it's a teaching and learning experience for colleagues as well, because initially they have not used this kind of formats before, the forms. They're used to the conventional note-taking, field notes, and yes. So, but with this now, you have like a standard of collecting data and recording data. So yes, at the end of the day, you get your data refined, and yes, you expand, and yes, makes work a bit easy for you. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maudlin Christiana Obiwani. I'm from National Museum, Lagos. I'm here on training at the Institute of Jos. Okay, we started this project a few days ago. We're trying to find out a lot of things about the Afizere people, using this as the 100 steps as a case study. So far, we've been able to practice what has been taught to us in class. We are doing the practical aspects, and we've been enjoying ourselves even despite the sun and little hardship, if you understand. But in this project, I'll be handling the GIS mapping, which is one of the things that we were taught in class. So even if I'm not an expert, but it's a very, very good learning process, because I've always heard about mapping using GIS and all that. So now we're doing the practical aspect. So that's the aspect I'll be writing on in my project. And also, aside from the GIS mapping, other things that are being taught to us, I'm also learning how to use this form. Mr. Cass taught us how to use the form to document everything we've done on the site, both that's each level, what we're supposed to write on each level, the context, to make a rough sketch of each level, and also a photographic register, context register, sample register, and all that. So it's been very, very, very exciting so far. Thank you.
All right, my name is Nambam Akila, and I'm part of the trainees here, 2025 trainees at the Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies. and so far so good. We are working on the Afizere abandoned settlement. That's the 100 steps, and for days we've been working here. So far, we are able to achieve the mapping, of the sites, manual, and also using the GPS. And today we started the excavation yesterday actually. And basically on this project, I'm handling the photography and also the labeling of the finds and also the measurement of the pits, excavated pits. And of course, we know that without photography, whatever work we are doing can never be documented. So photography is very, very important when it comes to archaeological investigation because it keeps record and it also helps us to document every step and whatever it is that is being taken on the field. And I'm excited to be with my colleagues, modeling, Sangami, and also Marvelous by the Murtala, and as well as able director, Miss Anne, and also HOD, Mr. Obina, Mr. Gerald, and Mr. Kaz, and as well as Dr. Macham. I'm excited to be in this project, and we hope that this project will be well carried out and well conducted, and I hope it ends well. Thank you.
My name is Samuel Ibrahim Ibi from the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Damatru, a graduating student of Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies, JOS. Actually, this research was interesting and it's also tedious because of the climbing from the 001 step to the 100 steps. And actually, this excavation was interesting. And the field that I cherish to embark on is that a surveyor for reconnaissance to find the artifacts that are at the top surface of the layer, to identify the features by taking their coordinate readings and their directions.
Okay, my name is Murtala Abdullah Shamba, a trainee at the Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies. And this is very important aspect of our school as we come to the end of this training. Nigerian curriculum emphasizes on theoretical aspects of the fields. So we are here. The goal of this course is to give us, to feed us with practical trainings on archaeological excavation, especially field work. And I'm very excited because I have learned a lot from what I learned from the university. We know the importance of security or the importance of peace in the communities because most of our archaeological sites are abandoned settlements, are located where now are not accessible. And the impact of insecurity in Nigeria is very, very challenging in archaeological study in Nigeria. So I'm talking about, and this is one of the reasons why we're supposed to go far to other side because of the insecurity. We can't go to that side because the risky attached to it. So we have to be trained within the museum. So I'm taking that part and I'm doing my research on the impact of insecurity in the archaeological research in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
My name is Sokere Marvelous Ifeanyi, a staff of National Commission for Museums and Monuments, JOS Museum. I am an archaeologist by training, and then I came for a training. It is the custom of the commission to send their staff on annual trainings, just for them to gain more knowledge that will help them in doing their work. So this year, 2025, I happen to be among the lucky trainees to be on training in the Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies. And then it is the custom of IAMS to also go on field work and excavate where necessary as a means of throwing more light into prehistoric societies, as well as historic societies. So we are here conducting an archaeological work on 100 steps. 100 steps, popularly known as 100 steps. It is one of the abandoned settlement, I would say, of the Afizere people before the colonial period in this region. So, and then so far, since we began the field work from the survey with our director and my HOD, Mr. Obi Naike, my director, Ms. Anna Abiu, and then Dr. Macham Mangut from University of Jos, I would say that the field work has been interesting, even down to the period of the excavation. Today is the second day that we opened the test pit 2 by 1, and then we have found some fascinating finds. So we have lithics, we have posh shells, we have charcoals, and we have metals as much as other cultural materials. So the program, the field work has been very interesting, and I thank God to be among the researchers in this time. So thank you very much.
I am Macham Mangut from the Department of Archaeology and Heritage Studies, University of Jos. And the Department of Archaeology, University of Jos, has been collaborating with the Institute of Archaeology and Museum Studies for quite some time now, and we usually work together. And I'm excited to be part of this project. And for one of the many reasons is for the fact that it is done within Jos Metropolis. And we know from the existing record, there hasn't been any deep history research on Jos Metropolis, particularly archaeological investigation. The ones that have been done have been outside the city, but this is the first within Jos Metropolis. And what the outcome of this is going to be, like, it will add, to the existing knowledge about the evolution of Jos as a metropolis, and I'm excited to be part of this very exercise. And so far the findings have been really exciting, and we hope that we'll be able to get radiocarbon dates possibly, and attach this narrative to specific chronology. And it's really been exciting. The trainees have been dedicated to their work. They are learning a lot, and even for us also that are leading this research, we are also learning. We are learning new things, about the history of Jos Metropolis, and it has been so far exciting. And just as the trainees also have attested to how exciting it is, but beyond this is just a starter. We hope in subsequent field seasons we'll be able to expand more on this, and we'll be able to have a more robust information about the deep history of Jos Metropolis and beyond. And we hope that this will attract also bigger collaborations and bigger funding opportunities, so we can pursue this to a conclusion. And I think so far so good, and this is what we are doing, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.